Hello, Internet. Welcome back to our Crusader Kings 3 series. It's been a while since I played, and we'll talk about that in a moment. If I recall correctly, we went through succession at the end of the last episode, which means that we've lost all of our alliances, including one we were with Karelia we had allied with. And then they dragged us into a war with Gwaladat up here. Gwaladat, I don't know. And we're probably not going to do much with that war just because we're no longer in an alliance, so we don't really care what he thinks of us. So we're in a vulnerable position because we've lost our alliances. As are our allies. We were allied to... Were we still allied to Shaylin and Jilin? They're both very weak militarily at the moment. I suspect they're going to get gobbled up. You're already at war with Oland. Oland is trying to subjugate them. So Sweden, right this moment, is in a subjugation war. What a subjugation war is where, I believe it's because we're a pagan ruler. Once per ruler lifetime, you're allowed to declare war on a country for subjugation. And what that means is that if you conquer them, you get all their land. So we need to do something about that because literally right now, Shaylin is under attack from a Swedish vassal. If they win, all of Shaylin will become part of Sweden. I'm getting really fed up with Sweden. We've talked about this before, of course. They are rampant with their expansionism. And I'm really frustrated that none of the AI has helped at all in this regard. We took Bergslagen back when Sweden was just this area here, and I think they have a holding in Italy. Which, by the way, I googled how far away is Sweden from Italy, and it's like 1,300 miles, plus you figure you got to go all the way around. I don't think there's a river that cuts all the way through. So, like, one of the bigger complaints I have with this game is that people will go to war with something that, in reality, they would never be able to hold. So, I don't know why Sweden gets to have part of Italy down here. Is this, this is called something. What is this called? It's not just generic Italy. This little island is called something. Sardinia. Okay, that makes sense. Traditionally we think of Italy as the boot, so couldn't really think of what that was. But yeah, I really wish there was some kind of limitation on how far they go away to war. It just seems too far. Like as the crow flies, it might not seem that far, but again, we have to go all the way around and through just to get here. So there would be no feasible way in real life for someone in Sweden to actually hold, like as fractured as their realm is, there's no way they would be able to hold and communicate with this little area. They would probably likely fight for their independence basically immediately. So I don't love that Sweden gets to hold that. What we could do is war with Sweden. We have more men than they do. 4,500 cap. We have more men than they do, but they have an alliance with Trums? Where's Trums? With one of their vassals. So we could go to war with Sweden and take a chunk out of them. The problem is we're not going to have enough prestige to declare for a whole duchy. My armies are raised. Right, because we were going to go to war with Gwaladat. I'm worried about Sweden. I'm not... and here, let's talk for a moment. So we're gonna skip gameplay for the next couple of minutes while I talk about things. I have not recorded Crusader Kings. It's been probably 5 or 6 days since I played last. I've been getting increasingly frustrated with the game. I know that is shown through in some of my content. I've been very irritable lately. I have a lot of family stuff going on, and it makes me very irritable. And then I come play the game, and all the little things about this game that I don't like all kind of merge together and make me really not enjoy my time playing. When we started out, I was having a lot of fun playing Crusader Kings, and then within, 12 or 15 episodes, I started to slowly hate it, especially as I continually was punished for things that I don't really have control over. So, I have a lot of complaints. One is the geographical distance that people are declaring war. It doesn't make sense to me. And let's say we wanted to declare a subjugation war on Sweden, we would never be able to win because we would have to hold every province that they have, and that includes coming all the way down here. Like, I think in a subjugation war, you literally have to hold every province. I don't think battling would actually get you percentages in a subjugation war. It might. I don't know. But them holding this province way out here makes it so much more difficult for us to win wars against Sweden, because we would have to go all the way over here and hold their province. And it just adds to that frustration of trying to play the game. They should be attacking our immediate neighbors. They shouldn't be going off to, Sardinia to declare war. So that has been a frustration. We've talked at length about how I think the traits that we get should not lock us out of things. So, like, we're compassionate. If we start a murder plot, if we try to execute a prisoner, if we do any of the mechanics that are kind of necessary as part of the game, like plotting to kill people is a key part of Crusader Kings. Like, we have a vassal who's been getting very strong. You'll see he holds a duchy over here, he holds a duchy over here, and part of a third duchy. If he gets a third duchy, he will declare himself a king and take independence from our realm. So the natural point of order in the game is that you would plot to kill this guy so that he dies, and then each of the duchies would go to a different child of his, and that would break up the power that he's holding in our realm. So it's a very useful game mechanic that people use for that exact purpose, but because we're compassionate, we will be punished for doing that. And that's a point of frustration for me. I absolutely love the trait system. I think that I really like the idea of my character having specific traits, but unless I'm specifically setting out to roleplay, I should not be forced to adhere to these traits. And that has been a point of frustration for me basically the whole game, because we've always had compassionate and, what's the other one? Honest rulers. So it's been really frustrating. I basically have not been able to utilize plots throughout most of the game because of the punishments that we get. When we had an honest character, we couldn't bribe people because we're honest. And honestly, I have not really seen a lot of benefit from these traits. It's mostly been all negative. So for me, I'm not really enjoying that aspect of the game. It's a huge change to the game mechanics because it restricts what you can do as the player. I think that's a really bad decision. And I would not be surprised if in DLC in a year or two, that is changed to where you can still plot and not be punished. In fact, in the patch that has already come out, they have already tweaked some of that stuff because it was too punishing. They didn't affect compassionate, unfortunately, so we're still going to suffer, but they have been tweaking that stuff, and I think that the player response will be that this is a system that actually drags down the game. Next, plots themselves. So if we declared a plot on this guy to murder him, it will say, we talked about this, it will display a 95% success rate. But what it actually means is you have a 95% success rate if it fired that very moment. The problem is it takes often a very long time to fire the plot. And every month there is a chance that we will be discovered. There's a chance that we will be have one of our agents kind of get in trouble. And so what it's saying is that we have a 95% chance to succeed and a 95% chance to stay hidden, but that's not actually accurate. It doesn't tell you that every month you have a chance, every week or whatever, you have a chance of completely ruining your scheme. So it's not very transparent. I don't know what factors in whether we get discovered or not, and that lack of transparency has also been frustrating as a player because I'm seeing 95% success rate and then we're failing. We've only had one successful plot. I think we've plotted 4 times. We've only had one fire, even though all of them said 95% chance of success. So that has been another major point of frustration. And then I'm just not enjoying Crusader Kings as much as I was. There was a time when I was like, this is really fun. But I would like, maybe to make this a consistent series on the channel. But honestly, the game is just a little bit lackluster, in my opinion. I complained about the systems, but even beyond that, I'm not having fun, really. We're winning, we're expanding, we're gobbling up people. We have a very strong army that rivals some of the big nations in Europe. We're pretty on par with France, despite France holding probably 3 times the amount of provinces that we do. Remember, a huge chunk of our land is impassable terrain here that is not actually part of our land. There's more up here as well. So France, by comparison, they're enormous. They don't have the impassable terrain that we have, and they're probably 3 times our size, but our military rivals them nonetheless. What does this mean? Failing to take care of myself. Oh, that's sad. So, like, we're doing really well, and I'm still not really enjoying the game that much. It's kind of bare bones, frankly. There's only one negative plot. I can't plot to support rebels or anything like that. It's just to murder. There's really not that much to this game. It's very straightforward. There's not a lot in the diplomacy system. There's not much diplomacy actually does for us. And it's stuff like that that I do think Paradox will refine over time. But I know Paradox. I've played Paradox games for years. It's going to cost hundreds of dollars if I wanted to get this game to a state where it's really playable and complex enough to really be enjoyable. I don't really support Paradox's DLC policies or how they ship games that are kind of lackluster and sometimes even straight up broken. I know that Stellaris was like the only Paradox game I can think of that was in good shape when it released. I actually had a lot of fun with Stellaris on like day one. But like I heard Imperator Rome was also quite broken. I know, I've played their games. I know the core games are never that in-depth. And it's just sort of disappointing because I did give them, like $50. And I expect a more complicated game than this one. And so it's been 10 minutes. It's been gradually weighing on me that I don't think I'm going to enjoy the game very much. So I do think we're going to wrap the series before too much longer. But I'm going to try to keep playing. I'm going to try to keep my frustration out of it. I'm just trying to have a good time. And yeah, we're going to keep trying to play. So we just went through Succession. First thing we need to do. Sorry that took so long. I just really wanted to get it off my chest because like over the weekend. So again, stuff's going on at home and it's been really rocky at my house. And everyone's angry at each other and I'm really stressed out and something's going on with my brother and my PTSD has flared up. It's been a really rough time for me over the last, honestly, it's been like a month at this point. And like every time I thought about playing Crusader Kings, I just got so irritated. I was like, no, the systems are so stupid. I'm being punished constantly for being compassionate. I don't want to play this freaking game. Sweden's too big. I hate them. And I ended up not playing the game. And I just wanted to kind of get it off my chest. Hopefully that clears the air for me personally. And I can feel a little bit better moving forward. Sorry to complain so much, but I do think my complaints are valid. As someone who came into this series very late, I started playing Crusader Kings 2 about a week before Crusader Kings 3 released. CK2 was really good, and I really enjoyed playing CK2. Then I got to play CK3, and I just felt so... Honestly, it's just constant disappointment, like frankly. According to Steam, I've played about 30 hours of this game since it released, which is not a ton, but it's a fair bit. And like in my private game, I had a whole bunch of bugs fire off as well. All my brothers died in unison. A bunch of enemy troops spawned in my land. It didn't make any sense. I wasn't at war with anyone. I just had hostile armies, suddenly thousands of men in my land. In my personal game, I'm playing as Asturias. And it's been, interesting to have some of the bugs, which I don't know if that's because they patched it or what, but like... Anyway, can transfer Chieftain Hakon to Jarl Scully. No, we're going to probably try to kill Jarl Scully. Why would I give him a vassal? Okay, aren't you Jarl Scully? Yeah, we're going to try to kill this guy to consolidate our power, but we'll deal with that in a second. So, first thing we should do with Succession is hold a feast. We must have done that in the last episode because it says I can't hold another feast. 8th of June. Okay, so we literally must have just clicked this and not had it fire yet. And the reason we're doing that is because we just transferred power to a new king. And that means all of our vassals are going to hate us because of the short reign penalty. So we really want them to like us because they will give us more levies, I think, and try not to revolt against us. Like, this guy does not like us. He is a title claimant. Of what title? On the whole kingdom. So you're like a close brother of mine. He's my uncle. Why would my uncle have a strong claim on my kingdom? Well, we're going to kill you, bro, so don't even worry about it. We're going to ignore this war. Stand down our men. Stand down our men. No, it will take 3 months. So we can't do anything for 3 months. But we can't declare war now anyway because our men are raised. So go ahead and disband them. 4 months, jeez. So, I'm thinking we go to war right now with Shaeland in an effort to conquer them before Oland can. Because he's not at war with all of Sweden. Olander and a holy war for the county of Venason. Sorry, the bells are chiming as well. Do you hold land somewhere else? You do. I'm assuming this is it. Yeah. So there's a holy war against that particular province, which we don't really care about. If we, can you just grant independence to a province? I can't. She will no longer be your vassal. You're at war. Yeah, of course she would no longer be my vassal. She would be her independent. I guess you can't do it while at war. So what we would do if we conquered them would just say, and again, this is the same issue we just complained about. If we try to subjugate Shaeland, we're going to have to go all the way down here and conquer this. And it's just annoying that is a thing. But we would just surrender that war and let the papacy have it, or whoever they're at war with have it. That way we wouldn't have to worry about it. And the reason we're going to do that is to snipe this out from under Sweden so that they don't expand that hugely. And is this not enough for any kind of kingdom? So it would just be duchies that we would transfer over. Because we really don't want Sweden to take this land. So I think we'll declare war on them. And I think we'll plot to kill this guy just to try and get that to fire. 20% chance. First of all, court, no. Council, you should be supporting schemes. We will attempt to murder this guy. And just assume that we can get some agents. That's another complaint I have. It should show possible agents here instead of just saying 0. Because you don't actually know until you start the scheme, which as a compassionate character, you might start the scheme, gain a bunch of stress, and then not even be able to bribe anyone. But we're going to focus on that. Actually, oh yeah, so go ahead and start the scheme. Also, we have no alliances. Having no alliances is really bad. Our wife doesn't like us very much. Oh, that's his wife. What about my wife? Who am I married to? Hello, madam. We don't have any children who are old enough to really marry. My daughter and player heir. She is young enough to get betrothed. Or old enough to get betrothed. Oh yes, and I'm on my squeaky chair. I don't know if I mentioned that. I need to buy a new chair. So let's see if we can marry our daughter to find ourselves an alliance. Just no, huh? King Tor of Agder. King Tor of Agder. No, don't marry her to someone in my realm. What? Wait a minute. What? Arrange marriage. Find spouse. What is the difference? Find a spouse. Arrange a marriage between you two of your own court. Okay, find spouse. No. Chieftain of... No, we're looking for, like, kingdoms. Why don't we just look for a big kingdom and see if they have anyone we can marry? Estonia, what do you got going on? You have any kids who are young-ish? How old are you? 61. You're a little old, so the alliance might not last very long. What's wrong with your son? +2. You do have some young children. So if I offered to marry your son to my... Oh, you know, we shouldn't do this, actually, because she's our heir. So if we die, she's our heir. If we marry her to some other guy, she's not going to be our heir anymore because she'll be married into their family. We could divorce our wife. We could divorce our wife and try to marry someone new. What does divorce cost us? 100 piety, and she likes us less. Yeah, who cares? I don't care about you. Who even are you? Why'd I marry you? Didn't I marry you for an alliance? Why don't I have that alliance anymore? They must have changed. Someone must have succeeded as well over here. Been succeeded. Yeah, divorce her. You can be my concubine. I wish it would say your ex-wife so I knew who she was. Is this you because you don't like us? Satru is divorced me. Has claims, is quick. Yeah, you can be my concubine. That made her like us even less? She's serving as a concubine but believes in a monogamous faith. You know what? Let's just get rid of you. She won't convert. We could adopt her faith? No, no, no. Why don't we get rid of her? Because if she doesn't like us, oh no, she hates us even more. If she doesn't like us, but we keep her in our court as our concubine and she really, really hates us, she might try to plot to kill us, which I don't want to do. So what's your deal? Brave, generous, calm. 37. You're a little old to be childbearing for me. Wrathful, and you're chaste? Chaste means we're very less likely to have children. You're 37. I don't remember at what age in these games women stop producing children. But we don't have any other concubines. We need to find a wife. Estonia. Oh, we were just looking at Estonia. Nini Lanema. Estonia. Chieftain. Estonia is looking pretty good. Chieftain. Yeah, are you the only kingdom of Estonia? You're pretty big. How strong are you? Really strong. Okay, is this your daughter? Nini Lanema. She has a hat on. It's not one of his children. Who is this then? Wards, court. Who are you? Show me who are your parents? Grandparents. King Tolv. Are you the... King Tolv of Estonia. Why is it showing you as dead on her screen? He's grayed out. Doesn't that mean he's dead? Her parents are alive. I'm confused as to why this would give us an alliance. Is this guy dead? Estonia. Foreign ruler. King Tolv of Estonia. Yeah, I don't understand what I'm looking at here. He's grayed out. Father of King Tolv. Oh, I see. So that was her grandfather. So you're his sister. You're King Tolv's sister. Siblings. Nini. I don't think so. I'm so confused. If your grandfather was his father, that would make you his sister. Okay, doesn't matter. The reason this is it does matter. The reason that this matters is because if we marry her and he dies, the only way we would keep the alliance is if she is the daughter of his heir, which she's not. Can we marry the daughter of his heir? She's betrothed. She's betrothed. She's only 9. Courtier of King Tolv. So you're not even related to him? Why would this give me an alliance? I don't understand. I thought alliances were family only. House Lanema. So you're in the same house as him, you're just not... You just don't matter, I guess. That much. You have siblings. Oh, your sister is the queen. But she's a different house than you. I'm so baffled by some of this stuff, but it doesn't matter. If we marry her for an alliance, it'll probably only last as long as this guy's alive. Are you injured? You have lover's pox? That's not great. Apparently doesn't have a health penalty, which I thought it did. Alright, I mean, he's 61. This could last for 3 years. Could last for 20 minutes. Could last for 10 years. Who knows? We'll marry Nini Lanima. She is also of an appropriate age for child producing, and she'll make us lots of children. We're very similar in military power. It gives us a good marriage. He will accept. He desires an alliance, which is enough to overcome the different faith and whatnot. And we'll see if we can convert her to a different religion. Send that proposal, get an alliance going. Check our issues. Sorry, I know this episode has not been very good. We could take concubines. Yeah, we don't have good concubines. I suppose we could take one even if she is older. Does it really matter? She's chaste. We can't really... We want them to produce children, so chaste is counterproductive. If we were looking to secure our already existing children, you know, land and whatnot, then we would take someone older or someone who's chaste, who's less likely to produce children. You're not even a good... And you're a lowborn. I really don't want children from you, Inga. I don't want you. We'll see if we can raid and maybe take some concubines or something. Family members can get married. My sister would also secure alliances. I thought siblings don't secure alliances. I wish I understood the game better. Islivin. Hello. Where? Click to go to location. Zoom in, maybe. Maybe we're too far zoomed out. Okay, it's not taking me. Right click to go to location. Okay, maybe it's a duchy. You have no claim. Yeah, but where is it? I just want to know where this is. Is living. We can use the finder. Is it Control F? Of course not. Why would it be the same shortcut that every game and Windows program has ever used? Which is F, question mark. I don't know how to find things in this game. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Let's just get these people married. This episode is so not been great. Islivan. Chieftain of Sigavara. Peasant revolt, no. Maraca. Free laces of brandies. I don't even know. Why aren't any of these actually kingdoms? These are all Tyrannid. Take me to... Are they landless? Claimants 0. Line of succession. It says it's a duchy, so you would think that they would have land somewhere. What about the other sister? It's the same stuff. You're the only one that's actually appears to be a place, which would be part of Pojanma. How well off are you? You're terrible. I mean, any alliance is better than no alliance, right? How old are you, sister? 24. You're age appropriate. She's a bold maniac. Of course she is. We'll go ahead and marry you off to this guy. Children born of this marriage would be of his dynasty. Yeah, of course they would. Why wouldn't they be? Inheritable traits, lunatic. Yeah, well. Vastly inferior, he gets a lot of prestige. She would lose a little prestige for marrying down. Done. Let's check the other one. She's a forgiving gentlewoman who appears to be quite injured. She's a flagellant. Oh, yes, this is the sister that we found out was with our uncle. I thought we, didn't we imprison you or banish you or something like that? Or put you, yeah, I thought you were in jail or something. Or banished or something. Make a concubine. You shit your sister, bro. That's gross. I think we're going to leave her alone. I don't love the incestuousness, and she has claimants. So if we married her off, someone could potentially make war on her behalf. And then we've already seen it's pretty slim pickings on Chiefess Karen can be imprisoned for being a fornicator. Nah, she likes me. We're going to leave her alone. take you as a concubine? Apparently not. So we're gonna ignore that. We know that alliances aren't really easily come by. I'm a little worried about Shaeland. We want to declare war as soon as possible. That way we can get in there and fight with Olin's troops as they try to take things over. Yeah, Jilland, you're getting weaker every time I look at you. But you have a lot of children. We could potentially marry into you in the future if you exist that long after. So I think what we want to do is give some time, a chance to pass, so that we can redo our alliance, or our re-raise our men, accepts our marriage proposal, and we have their feast. Moon is bright, spirits are high. Welcome, friends, to the feast. We've immediately been called to war. Estonian conquest of the Chieftain of Polotsk. Oof, they're big. They're big and they're strong, but they are in a lot of wars. We will accept, because declining would make him like us less, and it's already kind of a tenuous war, a tenuous alliance, so let's accept. Plus it doesn't harm us. They're probably not going to bother us at all. And we'll just let them lose the war if things get out of hand. Although Estonia is quite powerful on their own, they very well may be able to handle it themselves. Who are you allied with? Who is that? Bornholm. I thought it highlighted my realm, but it's not. It's down here. Yeah, we'll let them do what they're doing. And again, we want time so that we can re-raise our armies, and I think we're going to go to war with Shaeland here. Holland is also at war, let me guess, with Sweden. Yeah, attacking. Sweden is constantly expanding. It's a huge point of frustration. Feast is dwindling, and I find myself deep in conversation with my querulous Chancellor Chiefess Cecilia. She's my vassal. She inquires about my opinion on court politics, a subject she is deeply interested in. Man, that crowd background noise is very loud. She gains 20 opinion of me, and we become closer friends, and we lose stress because we're gregarious and compassionate. Well, we did start that plot, which, oh, we could hit on her? No, we're going to be friends. Pause the game. We want to check on that plot. We need to invite people. Okay, no one ever wants to just join, which is so peculiar to me. You would think people would be wanting to kill their overlord just because. We'll convince her. 33 gold. Okay. We need to be conserving gold and prestige as well because we just went through succession and we're going to be going to war. Sif Bjornstadter. We'll bribe you as well. You're much cheaper. And you as well. I see, and this is, again, where a point of frustration is. It doesn't tell me what the chance of getting discovered is and whatnot. Does me having more agents affect the likelihood of getting caught? It doesn't tell me any of that, so I don't actually know. Faction created against us. My uncle Jarl Scully created a faction to install Jarl Scully on the Agder throne. So, since we went through succession and our vassal doesn't like us very much, he has started a faction against us. Factions, which I don't think we've really dealt with, are kind of like rebels from other games and whatnot. Essentially, this guy is mad at us, and he's gathering people to say, I want to take over this throne and install this guy as the head of our kingdom. We don't want that. And so this goes up based on factors. Monthly change plus 13. Faction power above threshold. And the higher it gets, the more likely this is to fire off. Looks like it requires 80% in order to fire. If we can make him like us, we will gradually decrease this number instead of increasing it. So what I think we'll do is try to sway him. I'm already scheming. Oh, I'm scheming against him. That's right, I'm trying to murder you. My bad. The feast will help. At the end of the feast, there will be a plus modifier to all vassal opinions, so we will hopefully get that taken care of. We can adopt a special succession type. Absolutely not. We're going to keep going the way we are. Let's let some time pass, see what happens. Some lady has a claim we don't care about. Agents have joined our scheme, so we should be up around 95%, which again is no guarantee. We talk about this all the time, and I just talked about it in this very episode. So here it says we have a 90% chance of progressing each month based on power and resistance. What it does not tell us is what the odds of us getting discovered is. Because here it says 95% chance of success, 95% chance of keeping it a secret. But we've already experienced in this game, we've had, 4 or 5 plots. Only one of them succeeded because every other time we had a bad event that failed. Based on these numbers, you would think 4 failures at 95% chance, that's obscenely unlikely. What happened? But the reality is that this is a misrepresentation of the information. So, again, huge complaint of mine. Murder is en route. When the time comes, my agents will need a safe escape route out of Jarl Scully's castle should anything go wrong. Nothing better go wrong. Better be perfect. Detailed map of the local plains with all the hidden paths and caves would be an invaluable resource. We could pay a hunter to draw us a map. Basically, we have a 50-50 chance of the scheme progressing. Excuse me. The scheme will progress, but we have a 50-50 chance of getting Tattletale, which would increase the chance of us getting discovered. We could send people to do it themselves. 60% chance we get mapped surroundings, which is 10 secrecy and 10 scheme success chance. But we also have a 30% chance of gaining stress, or 10% chance of gaining stress and illness. And regardless, we would gain stress because we're lazy. No, ignore that. A feast with a friend. Chiefess Cecilia again. We would have been dining in a barn, and this would still be one of the greatest feasts I've ever been to. We will lose more stress, and we gain a good friendship with this woman, which gives us a huge boost to our health stat, which is good. And she likes us more. That's great. You're not really the one I'm worried about. I'm worried about the really powerful vassal in my realm who controls too much land. Feast as my guests depart. Everyone heads to their respective home. My wife Nini to thank for much of its success, and I feel nothing but gratitude as she sees the last few guests off. My lovely 18-year-old wife, of course. I'm only 20? Okay. We gain 150 prestige, and every one of our vassals and courtiers, I think, as well, will gain 20 opinion of us for 10 years. So we hit this, and we should check Jarl Scully. Did that even change? Did you not come to my feast, you piece of garbage? Maybe it just didn't tick up yet. Let's give some time. You still hate me, huh? Did you not come to my feast? Where would it say? Great feast together, hosted feast. He didn't come to my feast. What a disrespectful. Why didn't I get a pop-up that he was like avoiding my feast? That should be something that is relevant to me as a king. I should be able to like, excuse me, you didn't come to my feast, you piece of garbage. Why, blah, 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 blah. Sweetheart, why don't you work on politics? And you integrate title. What? De jure drift. The target title becomes de jure part of your primary title. That would be Bergslagen, I think we had her working on. It's going to take out 52 years. No. Go back to working with my vassals to improve vassal opinions with me. I think would be best. Looks like Sweden has some infighting going on. And honestly, I know we basically accomplished nothing in this episode, but I think we should call the episode here. We're at about 40 minutes. So I think we'll call the episode. I'm getting concerned that I still don't know how to say this. Sealand is losing pretty badly, and I'm worried they're going to get absorbed. You're losing in the Holy War, which we don't care about, but you're losing in the Subjugation War, which is a really big deal. We need to go to war soon-ish. But for now, I think we're going to wrap the episode. Everybody, thanks for watching. Hopefully you had a good time. I, of course, will be back with more Crusader Kings 3 in the near future. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, although I know I did a lot of complaining, so I would not blame you if you didn't want to do that. And I'll see you in the next episode.